Big Nazis, you know what I'm saying? Not the little one, man.
Thank you.
Her parents came to South Africa from Canada because they sympathized with the Afrikaner government.
And Werner von Braun's book, I think it was his, or it could have been Ober's book, spoke about that the head of the Mars colony would be called the Elon.
What it do with the businesses, people? It's your boy That Way with Jack Travis to be precise, man. Now, you know how we do, you know how we doing it. Back in the thing again, you understand me, man? Back around here one more time, but we gotta have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Let's have a conversation. Let me just ask you straight up, bro. Like, hey, man, what does Elon Musk think he is, bro? Like, I've got the whole theory. I've got it wrapped up in a nutshell. Where he thinks he is, where he think he going, man. But man, what's up with Elon, bro? Elon really think he runs some shit out here, though. That was crazy. That was like a hiccup, laugh, burp, all in equal thirds. But still I rise. But what's up with Elon, cuz?
Thank you.
Elon really thinks he's in a video game in which he's a level 97 player. One of the God tiers on the game. He thinks he's that in real life. And he was paying for it online. It's a crazy makeup, this guy, Elon, bro. But you know one of the things we just said in the hood, one of the things, like, money don't make you unlame. You know what I'm saying? Money don't make you cool. It's wild, bro. Like, how could you be the richest guy? I mean, for sure the richest guy walking around these days. But shit, Elon is quite possibly like you know, the richest guy ever, at least that we know of, right? Now I'm sure Clintons and all of that through the and the Bushes through the wars over there, and I'm sure there's some trillionaires. Donald Rumsfeld and China and all them, yeah. They some undercover trillionaires, you know what I'm saying? Some of the Saudis and over there, they trillionaires, you know what I'm saying? But seems like he might be like the richest ever, and still is one of the lamest. I mean, my God. It seemed like he could have installed a Neuralink chip in his brain to be cool by now or something, bro. What's going on? At least got a robotic body that do some cool mode. He is a human and he moves like a robot. It's the weirdest. He one of the weirdest guys. Maybe the robotic movements are available to explain what we just recently witnessed from a one Leon Smuk. If you're not aware with what we saw from Mr. Leon Smuk, then hey, let's get refreshed. Okay, so that's where we are now. I'm going to take you down a small little journey, a small little path. Just ride with me. I got you. You know, I like to see his own little interesting little tidbits that I find, because I check out a lot of information, man. If I had a better schedule, if YouTube was really turning the numbers for me right now, then I could dedicate more of my life to it and bring more episodes. But we are what we are, and it is what it is. And so tune in to the boy, like and subscribe, get me in the algorithm, and we will go accordingly, as I always say. So now, without further ado, we're going to get into a couple of videos. You understand what I'm saying? From Elon's dad. Explain a little bit about the origin story of a one Leon Smuk. Let's go.
A slightly heavier built girl.
Okay.
And actually what happened was we broke up when she was in final year and no, wait a minute, when we were going out.
Yeah.
She still going out. I didn't get her parents, by the way, were very fanatical in favor of apartheid. This is quite interesting. Her parents came to South Africa from Canada because they sympathized with the Afrikaner government.
Okay.
They used to support Hitler and all that sort of stuff. But they didn't know, obviously, I don't think they knew what the Germans the Nazis were doing. But they in Canada, they were in the German party in Canada. and they sympathized with the Germans.
Yeah.
So when the Afrikaners government came into power here in 1948, then May's father, who was quite an interesting guy, he was a very good pilot, he said he wants to be with the Afrikaners because he agrees with apartheid, you see. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And he came out here with his family.
Didn't that cause tension with you because you don't?
Yeah, that caused a lot of tension with me. And because I was a director of NUSAS, which was a National Union of South African Students, which is a very anti-apartheid body, you know. And I argued with them a lot. And they used to tell me, they used to be like rude to me, you know, and the parents. And then when May was, in her final year, around about that time, I said, look, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't want to come to your house anymore. I don't like your parents.
Jeez.
You see? Really? So then she cried. She said, but don't worry about them. I said, no, I'm finished. I'm not interested in this nonsense. And her parents even said they're going to get somebody else to go out with her. They don't even want me to go out with her, you know. Things like that. You know, typical. Typical, you know. It's quite normal. You're getting that everywhere. Anyway, so then May cried. She cried for 3 weeks, she told me. I was told she didn't stop crying for 3 weeks. But then she lost all her weight. And she became very thin from crying. Didn't eat.
And so, yeah, in that video, Leon's dad is explaining that her parents, May Musk's parents, were sympathizers with the African apartheid government. Now, I'm not completely well versed on that apartheid thing. I think the basis of it, and basically just like a genocide on that particular part of the African population. You know what I'm saying? Heard a lot of bad things. I was actually watching a documentary last night, and I heard them say something about that. But it wasn't, you know, the whole document wasn't about it. But like I said, Mr. Musk explains that, you know, out the gate, you know, Elon's grandparents were Nazi apartheid sympathizers. So it kind of set up a groundwork of hand-me-down teachings. Now, I don't know if we've ever heard anything about Daddy Elon or Mama Elon to the effect of them having some Nazi sympathies or what have you. But we certainly see that the grandparents had some of those affiliations or shared mind processes. Hey, move, guy, get out of here. That's my dog, Brody. So yeah, man, you know the apple doesn't often fall far from the tree. You understand what I'm saying? You dig what I'm getting at. So that was the groundwork, the setter-uppers. You understand what I'm saying? Now, you've got various different that are giving him a pass. You know what I'm saying? Oh, like the ADL. Is that not? That's crazy to me. Like, you're the spokes organization for the Jewish heritage people, right? Like, we would expect you all to jump off the bridge about a peace sign or something that just don't even resemble a Sig Heil and go off the bridge about it. You know what I'm saying? But to actually see it twice on stage in like one of the most televised events every 4 years, like ever, you know what I'm saying? Like on every station and all that, like to see that and to say that, that's crazy, bro. Like, you damn near get in trouble if you even say something, man. It's wild. Like, it makes you wonder about a lot of things, man, because it just seemed to be a lot of, and you know, this is not an episode I could go down so many rabbit holes and so many branches addressing just like the wild affiliations, man, and seemingly like backdoor deal type of things that are just going on out in the open these days. It's wild, brothers and sisters. But yeah, this is where we are. So, you know, I like context. So I'll play the full little clip of Elon's speech, or maybe not the full thing, but at least some context, but you know, the before leading up to it. And just, you know, and see if that changes your opinion on it.
This is what victory feels like. Yeah! And this was no ordinary victory. This was a fork in the road of human civilization. Okay. This you know, there are elections that come and go. Some elections are, you know, important, some are not. But this one this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you. It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured. Thanks to you. We're going to have safe cities, finally, safe cities. Secure borders, sensible spending, basic stuff.
All right, there you have it. For me, that doesn't change anything about what he's doing. And now, you know, I guess before I get into the, you know, the last good little part of this thing and start to get to close it out, I don't really feel a particular way, you know, about where the move came from and what I feel about, you know, him being sympathizer of the Nazi propaganda, the mindset or what have you. Like, bro, you know, I ain't the baddest man on earth, but I am most certainly plugged in to, you know what I mean, to the strong side of the culture, pimps. So we ain't never been worried about that, bro. You know what I'm saying? They ain't never want that smoke. We ain't like, you know what I'm saying? They'll hide that around. From what I experienced in my life, a Nazi would make that a secret around me more so than, hey, like, I ain't going. You know what I'm saying? I don't know nobody that I rock with in my life that going, like, man, he's playing the radio. That, so it ain't like I'm hurt up about it. It's just more of, you know, the hypocrisy or the just letting everything slide that the people that are in power right now just seem to employ. I can't even say seem to employ, bro. Like, they really, like, they show their true colors each and every day. And it's just so wild that a person would allow for such horrible characteristic traits to be able to attribute it to their name, man, and just and grin and bear it and go ahead. I made an episode a couple days ago, maybe last week, about Scott Jennings. He's on there with on the Abby, I forget her last name, on you know, the show. And, you know, he does it with a smile. Such a smug, such a punchable face. And they all do it. If you look at all these executive orders and Trump, what Trump is stopping Tuskegee Airmen from being taught about in the Air Force now. No celebrating of Black History Month and federal bill. Like, it's just like... And again, you know, the little petty stuff, like, let me not even get into my bag on that. But again, I'll say this, you know, it won't go too far with black folks. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna get to the point to where quit laughing before it happened to you. I can promise you, Pimp Juice, that would never happen to us. I can promise you. Unless they want to get ready to rename the United States or something after the finish of it, because I can promise you, we ain't going. So I don't think so. You know, it's just why I look at it. So, anyways, man, let's get into the juicy part of this video. So I've got a video from his pops, man. Another video from his pops. And And this is a wild story. You know, it reminds me. It reminds me of the story that I got into. And it's interesting, man. I should have kept more of my essays, but I recently went through a world history course, right? And during that course, you're required to write a couple of papers, you know what I'm saying, at the end of each little module. And I gotta be honest, I wrote some hell of essays, but they were in staunch opposition to the Roman Empire and their tactics and their methods and their methodologies and their overall point in what they were doing. It was absolutely pointless, bro. The moral of the story of the Roman Empire, which is emulated to this day, levitated to a degree to where they ascend to get back to. I think that's part of making America great again. But you can sum the Roman dynasty up by saying they killed and destroyed and sacked territory for the sole purpose of eliminating people that weren't, at that time, that just weren't from Rome, that just weren't Roman. Because the people close to them, for the most part, look like them. Huh? It's evolved since to, you know, people that don't look like them ain't got a chance in the world. But the Romans started with just killing people, killing tribes, and killing and sacking towns that were just their neighbors and expanding outwards. It got to, it's not because they wanted resources from this particular place or build a land bridge from hill to hill or trade route with these spices and this go. Nope. They would kill everybody, take it over, burn it down, and do nothing. The land would sit there industrialized, all of that, man. They went through like 1,000. Once they got as big as it could get, it went through like, what is like 1,000 years of dark ages. No new innovations, disease and everything. Like they just killed everything and got lazy and just chilled. Like it's insane if you get into it. So you know but the start of it, right? I meant to go to the start. The start of Rome was supposedly from two brothers, Romulus and Remus, that were supposedly abandoned and raised by wolves in the wild. Yeah, and then they founded Rome, and then I think Romulus ended up killing Remus, and Rome was born. Like they want to be of lore. You know what I'm saying? They want to be of like superheroes. That's why it's so interested in these crazy ass movies and ideas, and they'll fall into cults and thinking. It's just, oh my god, bro, it's so crazy. But again, here we go with this video, man, and like I say, it's embarrassing, bro, to know that this is like, damn, really, bro, like this is how this guy walks around thinking he is, man. It's embarrassing to the world. Let's go.
So we go back to my children's names. Elon, when I was a child, we used to build rockets, and we used to read the books of Professor Herman Oberth, and Werner von Braun, and they had these illustrated, they weren't really comics, they were books, but they had illustrations, and they were in German, unfortunately, but the adult at that time that we were with, he would tell us what the stories were saying about going to planets and all that sort of stuff, and we could see the illustrations and everything. And Werner von Braun's book, I think it was his, or it could have been Oberth's book, spoke about that the head of the Mars colony would be called the Elon. Now, I remember that, but I never thought of it as a name. I never thought it was a person's name. And then when May and I got married, I was quite amazed to discover that her father's grandfather or something had been called Elon Haldeman, which was really reminded me of the stories that we had. And so I thought, well, yes, I like that name for Elon, because it meant something to me, Elon.
Yes, people, you heard it right. Elon's father, Sir Werner von Braun. was his inspiration for naming Leon Elon. Werner von Braun, a name to be associated with, Rudolf Eichmann and Joseph Mengele. Of course, Adolf Hitler. You dig what I'm saying? Big Nazis, you know what I'm saying? Not the little one, man. I'm talking about big ones, not the little ones. Is who Elon dared to say, this is why I named him. And then his grandfather, the grandfather that we heard had the apartheid like-mindedness, had the middle name Elon, miraculously. And so, Leon Smuk became Elon Musk. Let's do a little research and let's get up to a little speed on who Werner von Braun was and this book we talking about. In 1948, after being shipped to America from Nazi Germany in Operation Paperclip, a U.S. intelligence program which sought to repurpose Nazi scientists to fight the Cold War, Werner von Braun, the Nazi who invented the V-2 aka Vengeance rocket, wrote a hard science fiction book in German called Mars Project at Fort Bliss, Texas, and published it in 1952 in English in various forms in the years after. In the book, which is extremely technical and detailed, scientists build rockets to send humans to Mars. On arrival to the red planet, they find an underground society because the surface is uninhabitable, honeycombed with tubes for travel. There are no nation states per se on Mars because technology has made them obsolete. A couple excerpts from the book. This is chapter 24, How Mars is Governed. The Martian government was directed by 10 men, the leader of whom was elected by universal suffrage for 5 years and entitled Elon. 2 houses of parliament enacted the laws to be administered by the Elon and his cabinet. And something else about each being appointed for life by the Elon, as vacancies occurred by death. Let's go on over here to this next one. Thousands of years of civilization on Mars had permitted refined technology completely to remove all regional concepts. High velocity subways instead of geographical differences of opinion. Political debates went on between the representatives of various branches of science, technology, and administration concerned with the maintenance and improvement of living conditions. I don't know whether you understand that. That sounds just like Doge. That sounds just like his whole mission to Mars. Bro, Elon Musk, his whole life, he grew up so rich, and his dad, I'm sure his dad put him up on game about this story. His whole life has been about like fulfilling this fantasy of this destiny to go to Mars, as written in this book from Werner von Braun, who was a Nazi. So I tend to lean with Elon having Nazi sympathies. You dig what I'm saying? When you see this, it's kind of hard to argue with that. But is this not a wild story, bro? But would this not be classic? Of course, this is why Leon is Elon. Of course. It all makes sense now. Doge sounds like that little governmental entity or what, they say it's no governments. I know I heard something about Peter Thiel talking about having digital states, no more actual borders, just everybody by a digital foot. It's just, it sounds wild, man. It sounds wild, but that's Pops. That's Pops putting it straight out there. You know what I'm saying? I just gave you the evidence showing you up. So, I do believe we all a part of Leon's childhood fantasy MMORPG FBRT game, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's wild as hell. But if he one of the funniest, lamest dudes I've ever seen, so I'm sure he'll supply us with some more laughs and some more insane material. And but the biggest joke is gonna be when him and Trump fall out. When they fall out, you dig what I'm saying? Now that's gonna be one for the ages, but it ain't happened yet. They still rocking and rolling. They're still besties. You dig what I'm saying? But until the end, man, this has been That Way with Jack Travis. I'll get with y'all soon. Loud.